This is a major problem for the Los Angeles Lakers as they lose yet another game, 118-106, to the Orlando Magic here. And guys, I don't know about you, but the Los Angeles Lakers are playing their worst basketball at the worst possible time of the season. We're going to talk about how the Lakers can ride the ship, as well as really what went wrong in this Orlando Magic game. And welcome to the Lakers Digest here, guys. My name is Hunter Pitcoff, and we cover everything surrounding your Los Angeles Lakers. If you are not new to the channel, you might realize I have a new setup here, so shout out to the new technology, new computer, help you guys with higher quality content, but some of the graphics are missing, had some tech issues right before I recorded, but I wanted to get this video out to you guys in the as soon as possible timing-wise. So, if you're new to the channel, we appreciate you showing up, but I will say this, though, because 80% of you guys watching our content are not subscribed. Watching the content over the last month. So, stop what you're doing right now. Hit that subscribe button so you keep up with everything surrounding your Los Angeles Lakers. But I don't want to keep you guys waiting too much longer, or maybe I should, because this was an absolutely brutal game as the second half woes continue for the Los Angeles Lakers in this one, guys. Because this was an absolutely brutal second half. I mean, look, the Lakers were up. They were winning by 2 points, 60-58. In fact, the Lakers were up 60-51 in the second half. Second quarter, excuse me. The Magic cut it within 2, and then the Lakers just could not get over the hump ever since. We saw another miserable second half. I mean, the Lakers were only down 3 points to the Chicago Bulls, and then end up losing that game 146-115. An absolute atrocity. And guys, we got the same thing here in this one as well from the Lakers. So Luka Doncic, he continues to play pretty well. Did not shoot the ball great from the field, but I also think that was because he really wasn't put in a great position to do that. 32 points for him. LeBron had some silly mistakes in this one yet again. Turnovers only 2, though, so cut it down from 5 from the last game. Finishes with 24. This was actually a pretty good Dorian Finney-Smith game. He chipped in with 14, including 4 of 6 from 3. You would have thought, if you told me Dorian Finney-Smith shot 5 of 7, 4 of 6 from 3, I would have thought the Lakers would have won this game by at least 10 points, just knowing how much he impacts the game defensively. But yet we see him do what he needs to do offensively, continues to play good on that end. Even Austin Reaves, not a horrible game for him as well, with 18 points in this one. So this overall, though, was an absolute miserable game. And also to kind of really catapult it here, too. I mean, look what the Magic were able to do. I can't really read that graphic here. Oh, clicked the wrong thing. Okay, here we go. So the Orlando Magic shot 37.5% from 3. But that number, at one point in the third quarter, was like 42.6. This is the worst shooting team in the NBA from 3. And we already know what the Magic do well, right? They are big, they are physical, they play good defense, they rebound the ball, and they score inside. Well, if they're shooting the ball this well, too, you are not going to win this game against the Orlando Magic. I mean, Franz Wagner and Paolo Banchero did whatever they wanted. Each of them gave the Lakers 30 points, 32 for Franz. He continues to kill the Lakers every single time they play. Anthony Black really was the difference maker for the bench unit. Had 17 points, 7 to 10 from the field, 3 of 5 from 3 for a guy who's not really that good of a three-point shooter. I mean, that was kind of it as well. Lakers actually did a pretty good job on the offensive glass here, as they had, they had 11 offensive rebounds. I think the Magic ended up actually with 12 here. I keep clicking the wrong buttons, guys. My bad. They actually did end up having more. But this was also another miserable Jackson Hayes game. And this is probably one of the worst games he has played since the post-Luka Doncic trade. To give him credit, he has stepped up a ton, has played much better for the Los Angeles Lakers as their starting center, and has given him hope that this is someone that the Lakers can continue to re-sign in the offseason. And I don't think that they should stray away from that based on one game. But watching this was a bad game from Jackson Hayes. Had some really silly, bad fouls. That 5th foul on that offensive foul where he set an illegal screen. You can't push the guy. You already are in position. Let your guys go out there and make the play, the ball handle. I think it was LeBron or Luka. One of those guys had the ball in his hands during that screen and roll. So this was, again, another miserable game. And it's going to bring us to our next point here, guys. Because the Lakers are playing bad ball at a bad time of the season. They only have 11 games left on the year after this one. They fall to 43-28. Still in the thick of things, still can get the 2 seed, but when you have a team like the Houston Rockets who are rolling right now, we know what the Denver Nuggets can do. This is a team that won a championship just a few years ago. Memphis is having a good season. The Warriors are surging, although I know Curry's been hurt. So the Lakers still have a chance with how tight it is. And teams like the Timberwolves, the Clippers are playing good. The Mavericks just got Anthony Davis back. The Suns are playing a little bit better. So there are some teams that I don't think the Lakers are going to fall to 9-10. I don't think they'll even fall, knock on wood, to out of the play-in tournament. But could they fall to like the 5 seed? That is very possible, right? They could be the 2 or the 5. Most likely they're going to fit somewhere in that range. They need to play better basketball here because, guys, the schedule is not easy for the Lakers here. This is what they have coming up on a back-to-back Wednesday, Thursday night. They'll be in Indiana, in Chicago. Again, we'll see if the Lakers are able to capitalize after a miserable performance against the Chicago Bulls. They got the Memphis Grizzlies on Saturday night, and then Monday night, they also have the Houston Rockets, and then they have the Golden State Warriors on Thursday there. So those are 3 massive games because those are teams that are trying to get your spot and move up in the Western Conference or stay ahead of you like the Houston Rockets here. So those are 3 games that the Lakers really need to win if they want to catapult themselves higher up in the standings. Then they're going to get the Pelicans. That's probably the easiest game left on the schedule because after that, they got 2 straight games against the Thunder, the Dallas Mavericks in Dallas. It's going to be a very emotional game for Luka Doncic. And they also finish the year with the Houston Rockets and the Portland Trailblazers in Portland. So for the Los Angeles Lakers here, guys, again, this was not a great showing for them at all. I wanted to see more fight intensity. I felt like we got that in the first half, and then they just gave up. The team just flat out gave up. I don't know where this, as you see the balloons popping up here for a birthday we celebrated, but the God, they need a unicorn-like performance, honestly, to get this win tonight, and they didn't because they put themselves in such a hole in the third quarter. They got outscored 34-18 in the third quarter, and again, that was from being up by 9 points at one point toward the end of the second. So they ended up getting outscored by, my math's right there, about 25 points from that point on after being up 60-51. I mean, that is absolutely pathetic, right? If you want to be a championship team, you got to take the regular season seriously too. Like, you can't just turn it on in the playoffs. It doesn't really work like that, right? We see teams like the Boston Celtics last year. They were the best team in the NBA in the regular season, and that translated to wins and hoisting the Larry O'Brien trophy in the NBA Finals, right? Dallas was not a particularly great team in the regular season. Yes, they turned it on, but they lost to a team that had more continuity throughout the season. And look, the Lakers made a massive trade, a historic trade. So the continuity wasn't necessarily going to be there, but they ended up winning 20 out of 24 games, mainly through the month of February. This has been a rough March. Hopefully, they can get some spark here the rest of the way, as well into April, as they can find a way to get their footing back, as Hachimura comes back, as LeBron James comes back. They now have essentially a fully healthy roster here, and the Los Angeles Lakers can ultimately get back to where they were playing toward the peak of their powers. But at the same time, guys, before we sign off here, I'm going to say it one more time. If you watch all the way through this video, guys, 80% of you guys watching the content are not subscribed. So if that is you, I'm calling you out. Stop what you're doing right now. Hit that subscribe button to keep up with all the reports, rumors, game coverage, everything surrounding your Los Angeles Lakers here on Lakers Digest.